Dov Hiken.
Thank you. What an amazing crowd. Really, God bless all of you and all the people that organized this to stand up to what the French, by the way, it's not just the French. It is Obama and Kerry who are behind the whole spectacle in France on Sunday. They're behind this. It's a continuation of the UN resolution and Kerry's outrageous stab in the back of the people of Israel. By the way, let us remember who the French are. You remember the French, right? They're the ones during the Holocaust who collaborated with the Nazis. Let's not forget. We know how long they fought the Germans, how long they lasted, the French army. I know it's a long time ago, but sometimes nothing changes. You would think that with everything going on in the world, with ISIS running amok all over the world, killing men, women, and children all over the world, you would think that 70 nations would get together to talk about ISIS. But no, of course not. That's not that important. The situation throughout the Middle East, what's happening in Syria. Ladies and gentlemen, what are we up to? How many civilians have been killed in Syria? Is it 500,000 civilians? 600,000 civilians? The continuous attacks in Syria by Iran, by Russia, killing men, women, and children recently in Aleppo. Is there a conference in France, in Paris, to discuss the situation in Syria? No, of course not. Not that important. What hypocrisy, what dishonesty. The tragedies that continue to go on all over the world. No discussion, there's no conference, ladies and gentlemen, about Yemen. There's no conference about the situation in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Libya. No discussion. Countries throughout the world are not having any meetings. Do you remember Russia going into the Ukraine, taking over part of the Ukraine? It's a while ago. Are 70 countries meeting to discuss the aggression of Russia against an independent state called Ukraine? No 70 nations. Nobody's interested. The only thing they're interested is our little Israel. That country you can hardly notice on a map, ladies and gentlemen. This is all the Obama administration and then John Kerry, the Secretary of State. They are trying to do damage up until the very last moment. They're not finished yet. They have a couple of more days. Well, let us thank God that we have a fresh wind blowing and new leadership in the White House. It is quite incredible. The Israelis will not be there, but 70 nations will be there. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about the French you might not know. It was in the news very recently. The United Nations, which, by the way, we all need to work and convince the Trump administration to do what Israel just did and stop funding the United Nations. Stop. It is a cesspool. We can continue with the humanitarian things, that's fine. But the rest of it, $3 billion, we can find better use for $3 billion. Let me tell you what the French, they're the ones in charge of this conference. They're the ones inviting everybody to come to Paris. Well, just a short while ago, there was a resolution. Listen to this. You want to get your blood boiling? The French, the honest brokers, the French, resolution in the United Nations only a short while ago regarding the issue of the holy sites of the Western Wall, whether the Western Wall is part of Jewish history. You know the results of that vote? The United Nations UNESCO voted that the holy places that you have walked to, have stood at, are not part of the history of the Jewish people. And let me tell you what the French did. The French abstained from the vote. Abstained from the vote. Nothing will come of this. We know that. And we have one message for the whole world. And you're all going to join me so the whole world can hear. This is our message. I'm not worried about the United States. I'm not worried about the French. I'm not worried about the 70 other countries. Those 70 other countries, you know who they are? They're going to sit in judgment of Israel. They're going to sit, the countries of Asia, Africa, they're going to sit in judgment of the Jewish state. The people of Israel who are surrounded by so many enemies, both outside and within. You want to make peace with the Palestinians? How do you make peace with a people that applaud the killing of men, women, and children? How do you do that? And it happened this past Sunday when the terrorist who killed the 4 innocent people, his sister applauded, was excited, thought it was wonderful that her brother did what he did. So, final, everybody together. Am Yisrael. Everybody, Am Yisrael. Thank you and God bless you.
As the IDF puts their lives on the line every day, and the American Armed Forces
Yes, hey, how are you?
lives on the line every day.
Sorry, sorry just to call. It's in a bad area. Yes. Good yourself?
Past president of the Union for Traditional Judaism.
Right. Great. Good. You know, it's like, there's that one time when my son has like off, my